Welcome back, guys. Yeah, we're back building the stupidest hanging gods of Babylon you've ever seen. Now we're going to start working on in this episode on the central plaza area, and we'll be doing some more work on the Hellmouth, which is where we're going to start. There's some interesting stuff coming up. Sunken terraces, and I've got a treat for you at the end. All I'm going to say is think Avatar. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I think I've given it away already. That's enough. Right. So what I'm doing here is I got a call from the health and safety people, and they pointed out that if you're going to have any kind of open entry to hell, then it has to be properly fenced off. So I'm putting this kind of fencing in. And I thought it might be kind of nice to like elevate it, and then kind of have like almost like an island around it, and then the water around the island and stuff. So I'm just like kind of raising up the terrain around it. And at this point, I was really winging this because I didn't really know what I was going to do, and I thought initially that I'd just like take the terrain like right up to the path, but then I thought, you know what, we kind of want to create a little bit of a place where the kind of the two meet, where the heaven and hell meet. And I thought, well, how about if we try and kind of represent that? So I thought if we got the boulders in, which kind of have that kind of rough, chaotic, hellish kind of feel to them. They're very brutal and hard and, unforgiving. And, oh, man, I'll just point out, like, look how long it's taking me to just place these rocks, right? And then think back to Silverette's mountain that he built out of rocks. Oh, my God, how long must that have taken him? Like, really? How long must that have taken him to put together? Look, like just doing this little ring of rocks is taking me like quite a few minutes. That must have taken hours to build that mountain. So yeah, so we got the rugged rocks, which is kind of tough and brutal and chaotic and ragged, kind of representing the hell side of things. And I'm just kind of getting the terrain nicely leveled off, because then we'll have the heaven side, which is going to be represented by some plants. Now let me tell you, what you're watching now is speeded up about 25 times, something like that. This took freaking ages to place all of these, and to get the orientations right and get them slightly slanted and whatever. You can see that there's a lot of manipulation went into these, but I have to say, I think the final result was actually worth it. I think it was worth the effort. I'm really pleased with how this kind of came together, because you've got the nature, the nurturing side of things, the Eden, the heaven side, kind of just blending into the kind of the brutal, chaotic rocks of hell. So yeah, it's like chaos and order and beauty and ugliness, and like trying to create that whole dichotomy, and other words that I don't know the meaning of. So yeah, coming to the end of this now, which is kind of good, because you can see how like 25 times speed, that took ages. I was so glad when I finally got that done, but I thought it looked really good. Then I thought, you know what, we want something to go like inside the path, because I think it needs a little bit more height to kind of just like focus it. So I thought, how about we try and put together some kind of pavilion or like pergola or something. So I thought I'd like play around with some ideas. So I put it's really these rings that you can create with these like quarter circles. They're really good if you need to create like circular buildings or whatever, to just use them as like a ground template, and then you just build stuff onto them. And then it was like, okay, so it's going to be like a Greek style pavilion type thing. And I was playing around with the fish, because I thought, yeah, should I have like more fountainy stuff? And then I thought, no, you know what? One of the problems that I've got is this thing is epic. I mean, it is huge, and I want to be able to use lots and lots of particle effects. I mean, I'm going to be putting lots more particle effects in for waterfalls and stuff like that, and I got to do the hell thing, and it means that I've got to try and balance being extravagant with being very minimalist. I got to keep the number of components down. I've got to keep the particle effects down, because otherwise, I just won't have any frame rate. And I want to put coasters in, and I want the coaster rides to look really good. So I need an acceptable frame rate. So here I was playing around with stuff, just trying, like, is there anything that I could use just to kind of create a little bit of interest or whatever. But in the end, I decided, you know what, just keep it simple. Keep it simple, Skye. Kiss. And you can't copy and rotate quite as easily as I wish you could. So I ended up having to like manually place an additional 3 of these pillar bases just to get a quarter circle. And then, of course, once you've done a quarter circle, you could just copy the whole thing and duplicate it 4 times, and boom, you're done. And I've got to say, the mermaids are getting a lot of play in this, and I think there's going to be, I'm going to like count them up at the end and see how many mermaids I've put in, because it's going to be hundreds, absolutely hundreds. And I managed to actually place that first time and got it centered, which was amazing. I'm just testing it out to see what it looks like. I may need to put 1 or 2 more particle effects in. Now we're moving on to something that I thought I had this idea in the last episode for like a sunken terrace, and it's the whole staircases thing. The whole staircases thing is just getting completely out of control. But I didn't like kind of count on how difficult it was going to be to put in an outside corner. Putting in inside corners is really, really easy. Like totally easy. But outside corners are a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's not rocket science, but you've kind of got to figure things out a little bit more, because you've got the exposed ends. On an inside corner, you can just like throw them in wherever you like, because the ends are all hidden. But on the outside corner, you've actually got to get it right. And I was trying to place them like this, with like a full row, and it's incredibly difficult, because the mouse ends up being like miles away from where you're actually trying to place it. So I eventually came up with a much simpler way of doing it. But look at me struggling to try and put this in. It's a bit of a nightmare. So big tip, guys, big tip coming up. If you're trying to do something like this, right, just do it with like one piece, get that placed, and then put the rest of the row in. It's so much, well, you can see how much easier it is now. Now, another problem that I ran into was that the pieces were spacing themselves out. So rather than like going on the next row, which they were doing when I did the last set of stairs, these were jumping down like two levels at a time. And something else I had to play around with and overcome. Doing this whole stairs thing took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought this would be, like a relatively quick job, but it actually took a lot of time. But it's not just a case of putting in stairs. Oh no, there is a whole point to this. I had to, like when I was putting in the first set of stairs, and I had this first idea of doing like a sunken terrace, I did have this kind of vision pop into my mind, and the way it turns out is pretty much exactly the way I envisaged it in my mind. Which and I won't spoil it for you. I'll let it kind of evolve a little bit, and then I'll I'll kind of fill you in on kind of what my thought processes were as I was kind of thinking about it originally. So yeah, here I am still struggling with these corners, and the best way to do it, like every time, do it the simplest way. Just put it in like one piece at a time, get the corner right, and then just slap the rest in. Because once you've got the outside corner done, the inside corners are a walk in the park. And thinking about it, like when I originally envisaged this, I didn't envisage doing an outside corner. I thought this was just going to be like a rectangle. I thought it was going to be like dead simple, 4 inside corners, dead easy. And maybe that's the way I should have done it in hindsight. It would have been a lot easier. But I think now that it's done, it's kind of like, was it worth it? Yeah, it was kind of worth the effort. But I must have, like at this point, when I just done this, it was like, oh my God, how long is it going to take to do the rest of this? And now this is not just going to be like a long pool. I suppose it's like a reflection pool, isn't it? I thought, nah. And this is kind of what I had in mind when I originally had this idea. And it was to have a row of just vertical fountains just throwing water up into the air. Now, originally in my vision, it was like a much kind of denser row. So I would, you would have had at least one fountain per tile. But like I said, I'm kind of having to be a little bit minimalist because the particle effects, man, if you go overboard with the particle effects, you just kind of kill your frame rate. And then I started playing around with like, well, hang on, rather than just putting the fountain in, which is kind of okay, which is kind of cool, but like, could I make it a little bit more interesting and also add a bit more height to it? Because just having the fountains down at the water level, yeah, it's kind of, I think it just kind of lacked impact. And also, I want to get like as much foliage. This is supposed to be the hanging gardens after all. So eventually I put one of these little yellow plants on the top. And it doesn't actually end there, as you'll see later on. But I was really pleased with kind of how it looked when I got that row in. So now I'm starting to work on the stairs on the other side, and there's still, like, even when I've got all the stairs done, and you kind of see how, like, the state that it gets to, there's still a huge amount of work to do on this, because like this is just the bare bones. This is just like the bare foundations and walls. There's no decoration on this. And funnily enough, like the live action sequence at the end, I've actually already recorded that narration, and now I'm going back and narrating the time lapse. So you may find me repeating myself on certain things, but you've kind of got, when you're looking at this, you've kind of got to imagine what it's going to look like when you add in all of the foliage, all of the greenery, the statues, the extra fountains, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, and here I thought, well, hang on a second, because those pillars sitting in the water look kind of bare. So I thought, well, yeah, maybe throw some foliage in around the bottom and maybe that would look better. And I was kind of in two minds, so I've kind of left that one. And when we get into the live action, I'll talk about that a little bit more. And here I am again, struggling away, trying to put in these corners. And eventually, I figured out that I'd actually started it in the wrong place, so I had to replace them all, which was a bit of a nuisance. But fortunately, it didn't take too long to replace them. So, yeah, and having done this one, I think there's probably going to be more of this going on. Like, the more I put in these stairs, the more I just love them. They provide such kind of interest and framing to stuff, and it's that kind of like that pristine white against the stone effect just kind of lifts everything. I do love it. I do love it. This, I mean, I wish I could spend like a lot more time on this, but like obviously I've got six different series running at the moment, so I'm limited on how much time I can spend. I mean, on this today, I have spent what, 8 hours? Yeah, about 8 hours went into what you're seeing now, and it's. Like, well, I'm including like the editing and all that kind of stuff and blah blah blah. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of the time lapse now, so I'm gonna hand you back to your live commentator, SkyeStorme, and yeah, but there's more time lapse coming up because I ended up doing like a whole lot more, and there is a big surprise coming up that you're gonna love. Okay, so we're back to the live action now to kind of do a bit of a wrap up and tell you about a few things. So, yeah, liking this a lot. Now this is definitely not completed, and yeah, not sure about the fire risk on the wood, but we'll see. Now this, I love the basic concept. Absolutely loving it. I think, I don't know, I'm really in two minds about whether to put some like foliage around the bottom, and there's obviously a lot of dressing up got to go on around the sides, and I've got to decide exactly how I'm going to dress this area. So still a lot of decisions to be made, but like the general thing, I think in this terrace, love it. Okay. There are a few other things I want to show you. So, for example, round here. Oh, we've got to do the turn on. Oh, and that's going to be a turn on. Now, round here, you can see that I've actually removed every other pillar. Okay. Now, fortunately, when I started doing this, I was lucky enough, because it wasn't planned. It was lucky that we had exactly the right number of pillars to remove every other one and still have a pillar on each corner, and then I replaced all of the statues and whatever in the right kind of layout. And the nice thing is that we've now got over here, we've got mermaid on this corner, and if we go over here, we've got mermaid on this corner, and then on the far ends we'll have fish on these corners, which actually kind of works out well because it's kind of lower, it kind of works. Now I've removed these. I've got to put all these back in, but it's really easy because I've created this little arrangement over here. And in actual fact, I want to put this back row in. I kind of left those deliberately. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 8. So 4, 4. So we need. Whoops. Let's try editing it first. So there we go. So we need up to there, and quick Control D, bump, and done. And that's how easy that is. And then we need on the other side, we need 8, but we need 8 from the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need it from there, so that we get a mermaid on each end. And I've still got to duplicate this and put that in over there, but we'll get to that. So Control D and 1, 2, 4. Boom. Cool. Now I did actually do a little bit of work on this area before you guys arrived, and I took out all of the stuff from behind here and made sure that this was like properly filled in and it all lined up properly, and I played around with these pillars to make sure that we had it stepping down kind of properly. So it's like 1.5 up, 1.5 up, 1.5 up, 1.5 up. So yeah, but I'm still, I don't know, I'm still not 100% on this, and I think I'm not sure what it needs, but it needs something to kind of dress it up. And yeah, I don't know. It might be as simple as like, where's the small? I don't know. It might be as simple as messing around with these caps or something. Maybe turn them upside down or double them up or something. I don't know. Something. But it definitely needs something, don't you think? Or maybe even putting something like these on these ones, right? And then where's our favourite little bush? Behave. And just put some of these on like this. I don't know. I like this bottom one's just, it's kind of awkward. And I wish it wasn't really like that. I mean, I might carry on playing around with this. These rows may need to be adjusted so that they're not perfectly aligned. So it's like brickwork almost, because if we had those like a neat row, so those were equally spaced, that wouldn't look too bad. I kind of like that. So that's something that I'll play around with. Anyway. Right, should we have a bit of a turn on? I think we should. And I want to see what this looks like when we turn it on, because the idea is to get some height into this. So let's have a look. Oh, yep. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I mean, obviously, you got to kind of imagine this with loads of edging and foliage and all kinds of stuff around the place. But I think that's going to be quite nice. Should I put this one in? Shall I? What do you think? Let's put this one in and kind of see, like when you've got a full row, it's like it's sometimes easier to tell. Let's edit the right building. That would help. So we want to move you, plants and all, down there. It's easier to tell when you haven't got holes in it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like, as soon as I put that in, I'm thinking, yeah, some foliage around the base. I need to do it properly though. Because these weren't rotated, and I think it needs 8 around it to give it like proper coverage and whatever. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And like at the moment, like you've got this which is white against the white background and whatever, so it kind of doesn't show up. But once we've made it kind of more like this, with the greenery behind, then it's going to show up a lot better. Yeah, like this is really coming together, but it is a kind of a huge amount of work. Now, there was something, I'm sure there was something else that I was going to do. There was something else I was going to tell you about, and that was, I haven't had a chance to do it today, but, you know, I mean, I'm always fighting against time. I want to put some stairs like this going up here, and have this going up here with a set of stairs. But I think I need to set it back slightly, because I think I want this going across, like over the top of it, and then there'll be a path going along here. So it kind of like you've got paths going over paths and stuff. Which I just think will kind of make it a little bit more interesting. And, you know, I did look at these and think, would have been really nice if I could have got these to be like curved sets of stairs. And I might have a play around with that, but I think it's going to be like incredibly difficult to get that to work. So I don't know, guys. Certainly if you've got any opinions, let me know. Now, I know that some of you are, well, I know that some of you are getting a little bit frustrated with this build because you're like, oh, I've had comments from people saying, oh, come on, wait, like, put a coaster in, you know, where are the rides and stuff? Well, the thing is, before I can put like a coaster in, I kind of need to know like where everything is. So then I can kind of map out how the coaster's going to go. Now, I do have some ideas of how I think the coaster's going to go, but yeah, don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get, and I seriously, I think it's gonna be worth the wait. I really do. Oh, I remember yeah. There is one more thing. Oh man, the problem is the time to do it. I'll try and do it really quick. I'll try and do this really quick. So this is the idea. Right. So what we're building here is a mold. Yes, a terrain mold. Am I the first person to come up with the idea of terrain molds? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe somebody else has thought of it. And these could be, you know, like as simple, like this one is, or as complicated. Oh, no. Or as complicated as you like. Now, how big are we going to make this? I think another one. I think another level. Yeah, I'm thinking we need to go up another level. So, yeah, this is going to be quite cool. The one when I prototyped it, I think I only did. Did I do 2 or 3? I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember how many I did. Now, the question I've got with this is whether I do like top and bottom or whatever. You know what? Let me show it to you. Let's do the bottom half, right? And then you guys can leave me your comments and tell me what you think. So, this is coming up. I told you I wasn't done with this, didn't I? Right. Slow that down and stop it. Okay. The idea that I have is to have like an obsidian prism. Oh. Yeah, that's it. Up here. Now, is that going to be? Oh no, that's bang on. That's bang on, guys. So you're interested now. You were a bit bored when I was doing all this stuff, weren't you? You're interested now? Oh yes. Right, let's get the terrain. This is the only thing that I don't like about the terrain. The fact that you can't, like, I want to put some terrain up here, but I can't just put some terrain here. I've got to, like, drag terrain up and over, and then I've got to take, and that I don't mind. It's taking it out again afterwards. That is a pain. Right, let's get this, and we'll put surface lock on, and then I want, yeah, high intensity, small size, and let's drag you up you come. Oh, yeah, wait, that's way too much in actual fact. Let's take it down a bit. There we go. A bit more. Yeah. And a little bit more. Okay, that'll do. Right, now we're going to drag it over towards the mould. Here we go. Almost there. Almost there. Whoops. Yeah, close enough. Right, let's put let's put scenery lock on, which I should have done before, and bring this out a bit. Cool. Right, now we can get rid of what we don't need. which, like I said, is the kind of the annoying part. I should have done this from the first, actually, because it would have been like way easier. Let's take some of this away, because it hasn't filled in properly. That's the problem. See, this is exactly how I should have done it from, like, in the beginning, but I didn't. Yeah, you know, you live and learn, I guess. Right into the corners. So it's nice and sharp on the edges. Cool. Right, let's grab the mould. Nope, apparently not. Let's try that again. Probably didn't have the mould selected. Dump that down there. So now we have got our kind of sort of obsidian prism thingy going on, and as you can see, it does do some kind of weird things to the terrain edges, and this is why I'm considering making this like a pyramid on top of a pyramid or something. And there's definitely going to be some kind of ornamentation, like I said. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Right, one more thing we need to do, because like, I'm not sure. I don't know whether I want it to be that black. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But what we can do to kind of make it kind of stand out a little bit more is to paint it up a little bit. I think I'm just going to paint up the corners, like, for now, because this is just kind of ideas. And it just kind of makes the corners stand out a little bit more. I don't think I got it. I don't know. I don't know whether I got it exactly centered, but it doesn't matter, because this last ring up here, I'm going to angle this so that the flame kind of spreads out around the bottom of the rock. And we've got this, like, wouldn't it be cool if you could get this to rotate? How freaking cool would that be? I tell you what, if we had some kind of rotating platform that you could put stuff on, I'd actually I wouldn't use the terrain. I'd like build a structure that would rotate in the, you know, up, like floating, zero gravity, rotating in the flame. How cool would that be? So yeah, that's my idea for this. And like, I mean, like if I could sculpt, then I would put some kind of statue on here, or I'd make this into like a skull head or something. But I can't do that. I have absolutely zero artistic talent when it comes to stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, you could certainly like mount these on the corners or something if you wanted to do something freaky. So through the eyes, like if you put those in on the four corners at the bottom, like, so you'd have like 4 of them. Yeah, that could be kind of interesting, and then decorate it with all kinds of skulls and stuff. I don't know. But there you go. So yeah, that's the idea for that up there. But like I said, I've got to dress this up at the bottom and have the flames kind of coming up around it, and then figure out what the hell I'm going to do with the top. I've got all kinds of like ideas of what I could do with it. Like, yeah, the thing is, I could spend probably an hour just talking to you about the different ideas I've got for potentially, like, Oh, you know, I could put you know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what one idea. So one idea would be, let's get buildings, columns. Would be to stick some columns like on the corners, and then do exactly the same thing again with this. Put the mold reversed on the top, and then fill it in, flatten the bottom, and then yeah, so you've got like a pyramid top and bottom, and then inside you do, I don't know, God knows what. So yeah, that's kind of the idea for that. And then of course we can have the roller coaster, but this is why I need to like finish all this stuff before I get the roller coasters and have the roller coaster flying around the flames and going up here and over the top, or I don't know, or whatever it's going to do. So there you go. I'm rambling. I should shut up. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're not enjoying this, aww, I'm disappointed, because I think it's I think the whole thing is going relatively well. And by the way, I've actually got my frame rate up a bit as well by some of the modifications that I've made. So I hope you're enjoying it. I'll catch you for the next one. Peace out.